How do I stop myself from getting overly angry at my children? Any parent will know there's moments of frustration and anger. There's moments where you just feel that you have to explode. And sometimes, I'm not saying it's our fault entirely. Our children are very difficult to deal with, and it's always been that way. But it is important to kind of look at yourself from the outside. So that's one of the first things that I'll say to you. If you were that young 6-year-old, 7-year-old standing in front of you, they're looking up at you and you're like this big ogre of a giant, bent over them and yelling at them and screaming at them. That's what they see, and that's how they see their father or their mother filling their viewpoint and just in that state of anger. So put yourself in the eyes of your child. For myself, that has been very empowering. The second thing is be very careful what you say. And it's not just what you say, but even more importantly, how you say it. So your child will pick up on your physical cues, because young children, they learn to observe our movements much more than they understand our sounds and the words that we make. So your visual cues become very, very important. How your face looks. And, subhanAllah, if someone takes a video of you at that moment, would you be proud for it to be broadcast at your workplace or at your, at your school or at your mosque? How you looked and the anger that you had in your face. So be careful of how you represent yourself in that sense. Number 3 is choose your battles correctly. Sometimes you just might want to hold your anger inside you and, channel it in a different way, in a different time, and address it in a different circumstance. Anas radiallahu anhu, he says that the Prophet ﷺ, and he was one of the young children who used to serve the Prophet ﷺ, he says that there was never a moment that I angered the Prophet ﷺ where he spoke harshly at me, raised his voice at me. No hand was more soft than his, and no more words were kinder than his, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if I stepped out of line or did anything wrong, he would just encourage me to go do what he had asked me to do initially. So keep your relationships positive. I do recommend as well, finally, that you take moments to break your relationship with them. If you find that something's getting hostile, if you're getting, take a drive, go to the masjid, pray, go to the masjid, pray Maghrib, come back, and then deal with the issue at that point. Never, ever, in a moment of heat, try to solve the problem then and there, and see if there are any anger management techniques that you can pick up. Many seminars on anger management are usually free of charge, run by government and state governments and provincial governments all around in family centers.